Welcome back to Network Africa. The United Nations Human Rights Council has passed a resolution condemning internet shutdowns as happened in Uganda, Congo-Brazzaville and Chad during elections this year. The resolution was passed despite reservation from some countries. The landmark document renews a 2012 and 2014 resolution that declared that human rights apply online just as they do offline. The bans on the internet were not successful as people have used virtual private networks to get around internet blockades. Journalists and civil society groups have staged a multi-city picket at the offices of the South African public broadcaster, the SABC, over what they tag censorship and a clampdown on media freedom. Among a string of new controversial guidelines by the Chief Operating Officer, Lodi Motsoneng, is that the SABC cannot show violent destruction of public property during protests. Some of the staff who questioned the policy were either suspended or fired. The Chief Executive Officer of the organization has stepped down owing to what he called policies compromising his values as a professional.
Propaganda! Proper news, not propaganda! No political interference! No political interference!
Now, behind us, the sun is setting on journalism at midday. It's no longer professional. It's no longer possible to practice our professional vocation here. Those who are in the inside try so desperately, and they are with us in spirit, and some of them are among us here in this picket today.
The message to the SABC board is you should be worried about the protest out here, because the protest out here is going to get rid of you. It's going to get rid of you, and it's going to get rid of the Chief Operating Officer of the SABC. It may take time, but we will succeed, because we know that on our side we have the Constitution, we have the law, and we have right. We are not going to give up this institution to capture. We're not going to give it up to a minority of people who want to use it to censor the news, to promote one particular political party. So this is just the start of something. This is a vital issue about our democracy, and we will continue it until we have secured safely this important part of our democratic setup.
Elsewhere, the United Nations mission in Liberia will officially hand over all security responsibilities in the country to the government. The move comes as a result of the Security Council resolution adopted last year, in which the international community expressed its confidence in Liberia's ability to shoulder its responsibility. Despite the move, the United Nations explained that its troops would remain in the country as an insurance policy, but one that will hopefully never be needed.
Liberia is ready and has done a lot to prepare itself. Yes, the constraint of resources have not enabled us to go as far as we had wanted to go in terms of security training, in terms of logistics and incentive support for our security forces. But we've gone far enough for us to feel confident that our security will be able to protect the nation. But let me also point out that security has to also be the responsibility of the people.
According to the International Monetary Fund, the uncertainty over Britain's looming departure from the European Union will dampen near-term economic growth for the UK and the rest of Europe and affect output globally. The IMF spokesperson Jerry Wright says central bankers should stand ready to act to add liquidity or reduce excess volatility if the uncertainty over the Brexit vote threatens to further hurt global growth.
I'd say Brexit has created significant uncertainty, and we believe this is likely to dampen growth in the near term, particularly in the UK, but with repercussions also for Europe and the global economy. A quick agreement that is prudent and acceptable to all would of course be optimal, but on the other hand, and I want to emphasize the other hand, that rushing to a bad outcome or negative outcome would not be in anyone's interests.
We're still talking economic matters. An Egyptian NGO is helping women who may be considered too risky by traditional banks to start and grow their businesses by providing them with small loans. Founded in 1987, the Association for the Development and Enhancement of Women provides impoverished women with microcredit loans to low-income borrowers who lack collateral and a credit history.
Microfinanciers like Adieu make tiny loans to small-scale entrepreneurs who usually belong to a borrower's club that guarantees repayment. The association currently provides individuals as well as group loans where 5 women can guarantee one another. Co-founder Imam Biba said it was in 1984 when she and a group of her acquaintances first discovered how difficult it was for women in impoverished areas in Egypt to obtain loans for their businesses.
فجت فكره لا هنعمل مايكرو كريدت واول حاجه هنعملها مش هنعمل حاجه ثانيه.
We decided to do microcredit and decided that we wouldn't do anything else, and no one else was doing it. We would give them to the women to guarantee each other, and there won't be a guarantor. We won't ask them for ID, and we would train them so that they can do as they wish. Everyone in Egypt stood against us. You're girls, you don't know anything, you're naive. These women will run away, they live in slums. We were told everything that you can imagine. But we said no, we'll be determined and we'll do it. And rightly so, we started giving loans, like Grameen Bank.
Microcredit, pioneered by Mohammed Journos, founder of Grameen Bank in Bangladesh and winner of the 2006 Nobel Peace Prize, has been promoted by development agencies as a route to self-improvement for very poor families. Adieu pays regular visits to the homes of their loan takers to ensure that they are the ones in control of the money and not their husbands.
I began by borrowing 300 Egyptian pounds, and now, thank God, I've reached 4,000 pounds, and I gave the other spot to my sons, Ahmed and Mohammed, and opened up this other project here for myself and my daughter, Aya.
Unlike banks, the association does not require legal documents and guarantees from the women. Adieu has also created a map to ensure that no two similar businesses open up in the same area, increasing the chance of business success for their members.
Well, still to come on Network Africa, we'll bring you our Africa Tech segment, and today our focus is on entrepreneurship. Please stay with us.